Stop right there. Before you spend another penny, listen very carefully. Right now, I am holding 4 wheat pennies that look ordinary to most people, but hidden among them are 4 ultra-rare wheat pennies that have created real collector excitement across the market. These are not the pennies people talk about every day. These are the coins serious collectors search for, study, and dream about finding. Their combined collector market value has reached an astonishing $189,000, turning simple pocket change into hidden wealth and silent fortune. What makes this even more shocking is that these coins can still be hiding in old jars, coin albums, dresser drawers, forgotten collections, and even pocket change. Most people see an old penny and spend it without a second thought. That mistake could cost them a valuable opportunity. Every one of the 4 wheat pennies in today's countdown has a story, a rarity factor, and collector demand that continues to grow year after year. As we move through the list, the coins become more desirable, more difficult to find, and far more exciting. Some have survived decades in circulation. Others have become collector favorites because of their age, appearance, and historical significance. And when collectors compete for examples with attractive original surfaces, the bidding can become intense. If you own any of the wheat pennies featured in today's video, do not clean them, do not polish them, and do not spend them. Original condition matters. Serious collectors pay attention to every detail. If you believe you have one of these coins, hurry up and contact a professional coin dealer, grading service, or experienced collector for evaluation. Stay until the end, because the final wheat penny is the one that shocked collectors the most. This is rare coins' most valuable, where hidden treasures are revealed every day, and where ordinary coins can become extraordinary discoveries. Let's begin. Coin number 1. What if I told you that a simple penny from 1919 could be worth far more than most people imagine? A coin that many families may have forgotten inside old jars, inherited collections, dusty drawers, or even mixed into common coin lots, could actually be one of the most fascinating treasures in the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. The 1919 wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin that often goes unnoticed because at first glance it looks ordinary. But collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Some examples have sold for astonishing amounts, and the search for high-grade specimens continues to grow every year. If you have ever wondered whether an old penny could change the way you think about coin collecting, stay with me, because the story of the 1919 wheat penny is filled with history, rarity, and surprising value. The 1919 wheat penny was produced shortly after the end of World War I, a time when America was experiencing major changes. The nation was entering a new era, industries were growing, and millions of Lincoln cents were being used in everyday commerce. These coins carried the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic wheat ears design on the reverse. The version without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Since Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a mint mark during this period, collectors identify these coins simply by the absence of any letter beneath the date. One reason the 1919 wheat penny attracts so much attention is its historical significance. Every coin from this era represents a piece of American history. Imagine the journeys these pennies have taken over more than a century. Some may have been used to buy newspapers, groceries, or train tickets. Others may have passed through the hands of soldiers returning home from war. Each surviving coin carries a connection to a world that looked very different from today. Many people assume that because millions of 1919 pennies were produced, they cannot be valuable. That assumption has caused countless collectors and non-collectors alike to overlook important details. The truth is that condition matters enormously. A heavily worn example may be common, but a well-preserved specimen with strong details and attractive surfaces becomes much more difficult to find. As decades passed, most examples entered circulation and experienced extensive wear. Finding one that escaped significant damage is a challenge that collectors eagerly pursue. When examining a 1919 wheat penny, collectors pay close attention to Lincoln's portrait. The hair details, cheekbone, jawline, and coat lines all help determine the coin's condition. On the reverse, the wheat ears should display clear grain lines and strong definition. The sharper these details remain, the more desirable the coin becomes. Even small differences in preservation can create dramatic differences in value. Another factor that increases interest is the possibility of finding exceptional color. Copper coins are often categorized by their color designation. Brown examples are the most common, while red-brown pieces are more desirable. Fully red specimens are especially sought after because they have retained much of their original mint luster. Since copper naturally changes color over time, preserving that bright original appearance for more than a century is incredibly difficult. Collectors also search for unusual errors and varieties. While not every 1919 wheat penny contains a minting error, examples with striking abnormalities can attract significant attention. Off-center strikes, die cracks, doubled features, and other unusual characteristics may add another layer of desirability. Error collectors are constantly examining old pennies in hopes of finding something unique that separates a coin from ordinary examples. The popularity of Lincoln wheat pennies has helped keep demand strong for decades. Many collectors begin their coin collecting journey with wheat cents because they are affordable, historic, and exciting to search for. As collectors work to complete their sets, they often seek better quality examples of key early dates. This steady demand helps maintain interest in coins like the 1919 wheat penny without a mint mark. Another reason this coin remains important is its connection to the broader Lincoln cent series. Introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Early issues from the teens and 20s are especially appealing because fewer high-grade examples survived compared to more modern dates. This scarcity in top condition creates opportunities for remarkable values when exceptional pieces appear on the market. If you happen to own a 1919 wheat penny, it is worth taking a closer look. Examine the surfaces carefully under good lighting. Look for strong details, original color, and signs of unusual characteristics. Many valuable coins have been discovered by people who initially believed they were holding nothing more than an old penny. Sometimes the difference between an ordinary coin and a highly desirable collectible comes down to details that are easy to miss. Collectors often compete aggressively for premium quality examples because the supply is limited. Once a coin reaches the highest levels of preservation, finding another comparable specimen can be extremely difficult. This competition has resulted in some remarkable auction performances over the years and has helped establish the 1919 wheat penny as a respected date among serious Lincoln cent enthusiasts. Now here is the part that surprises many people. While average circulated examples are usually worth much less, the finest known examples can reach extraordinary prices. In fact, the highest price recorded at auction for a 1919 wheat penny without a mint mark reached an incredible $350,000. That number demonstrates just how valuable an exceptional specimen can become when rarity, preservation, collector demand, and historical significance come together in a single coin. So, before you ignore an old penny dated 1919, remember that this small copper coin could represent far more than 1 cent. It is a piece of American history, a collector favorite, and in the right condition, a truly valuable treasure. If you enjoyed learning about the 1919 wheat penny without a mint mark, make sure to subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, like this video, share it with fellow coin enthusiasts, and leave a comment telling us whether you have ever found an old wheat penny in your collection. You never know, the next coin you discover could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Coin number 2. Now, listen to me very carefully, because the small copper coin sitting in your pocket change right now could secretly be worth thousands of dollars, and in one unbelievable case, nearly $150,000. Most people overlook this coin every single day because it looks ordinary. It looks old. It looks worn out. But collectors know the truth about the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark. And today, you're going to discover why this coin has become one of the most searched and talked about Lincoln cents in American coin collecting history. If you've ever found an old wheat penny in a jar, piggy bank, coin roll, or inherited collection, do not skip this video, because one tiny detail on your 1944 penny could completely change its value. Some versions are only worth a few cents, while others can sell for hundreds, thousands, and in rare cases, life-changing money. The 1944 wheat penny is one of the most interesting coins ever produced by the United States Mint. To understand why collectors obsess over it, we need to go back to World War II. During 1943, the U.S. Mint stopped making pennies from copper because copper was needed for wartime equipment and ammunition. Instead, the Mint created steel pennies coated with zinc. Those famous 1943 steel cents are already extremely popular among collectors. But in 1944, the Mint switched back to copper pennies using recycled shell casings from the war. That's why most 1944 wheat pennies appear with a rich reddish-brown copper color. The Philadelphia Mint produced billions of these coins, and unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, the Philadelphia versions did not include a mint mark. That means if your 1944 penny has no letter under the date, it was struck in Philadelphia. Now here's where things become exciting. Even though millions were produced, certain 1944 no mint mark pennies are incredibly valuable because of condition, color, striking quality, and minting errors. And this is exactly why collectors spend huge amounts of money chasing the best examples. The first thing you should inspect is the coin's color. Collectors divide these pennies into three major categories: brown, red-brown, and red. Brown coins are darker because of oxidation over time. Red-brown coins still show some original mint color, but fully red examples are the most desirable because they retain their bright, original copper appearance from the day they were struck. A bright red 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark in mint state condition can already be worth far more than most people expect. Even average circulated examples can sell for decent amounts depending on preservation. But once you enter the higher mint state grades, values begin to explode. Another major factor is the sharpness of the strike. Strong wheat lines on the reverse, crisp lettering, and detailed Lincoln features all increase desirability. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC carefully evaluate these characteristics before assigning a grade. One single point difference in grade can sometimes mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars in added value. But that's still not the craziest part. The real treasures are the rare mint error versions of a 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark. Error coins are highly valuable because they were created accidentally during the minting process. And collectors absolutely love mistakes made by the U.S. Mint. One famous error is the 1944 steel penny. Remember those steel cents from 1943? A few leftover steel blanks accidentally got used in 1944, creating one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever made. These coins look silver instead of copper and instantly stand out. If you ever find a 1944 penny that sticks to a magnet, you should pay very close attention because normal copper pennies will not stick. Another valuable variety includes double die errors. This happens when the design gets impressed more than once at slightly different angles, creating visible doubling on letters or numbers. Collectors search for doubling on the date, Liberty, and I in God We Trust. Strong doubling can significantly increase a coin's value. There are also off-center strikes, clipped planchets, lamination errors, and other unusual mint mistakes that can turn an ordinary-looking penny into a collector's dream. The more dramatic and visible the error, the more collectors are willing to pay. Now, let's talk about condition, because this is where many hidden fortunes are found. Most surviving 1944 pennies circulated heavily for decades. They were used in stores, vending machines, banks, and everyday purchases. Because of this, truly pristine examples are surprisingly difficult to find. Coins with original luster, minimal scratches, and sharp details become incredibly desirable at auction. Collectors use magnifying glasses, microscopes, and proper lighting to inspect every tiny detail. Even the surface texture matters. A cleaned or damaged coin can lose a huge percentage of its value, which is why experts always recommend never polishing old coins. Cleaning may seem harmless, but in the coin world, it can seriously reduce collector demand. And here's something many beginners don't realize. Sometimes valuable coins are hiding inside ordinary coin rolls from banks. Coin roll hunters search through thousands of pennies, hoping to discover old wheat cents, silver coins, and rare errors. Every year, people still report finding valuable Lincoln wheat pennies in circulation or inherited collections. Imagine discovering a coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars in a forgotten jar sitting inside your home right now. That possibility is exactly why coin collecting continues to grow worldwide. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors searching every single day. When checking your 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark, pay attention to these important details. Look for unusual color. Check if the coin sticks to a magnet. Inspect the lettering for doubling. Examine the edges for clipping or off-center strikes. And, most importantly, study the overall condition carefully. Even small differences can mean massive value changes. If you believe you found a rare example, professional authentication is extremely important. Counterfeit coins exist, especially for famous rarities like the 1944 steel cent. Reputable grading companies can verify authenticity and help determine accurate market value. Now, here comes the unbelievable part that shocks most people. One extraordinary 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark reached an incredible auction record of $149,000, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever sold. That astonishing price proves how serious collectors become when a rare date, elite condition, and historical significance combine into one extraordinary coin. So, before you ignore another old penny, remember this. Some of the most valuable treasures in America are hiding in plain sight. A simple 1944 wheat penny, without a mint mark, could be far more than spare change. It could be a rare collectible with a story tied directly to World War II history, minting mistakes, and the excitement of coin collecting itself. And who knows, the next valuable penny discovery might already be sitting in your pocket, your coin jar, or an old family collection waiting to be discovered. Coin number 3. What if I told you that a single penny, a coin so small that most people would not even bend down to pick it up, could actually be one of the most exciting treasures in American coin collecting? Imagine opening an old jar of coins, looking through a handful of pennies, and discovering that one of them is a 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark. Most people see an ordinary old cent, collectors see history. And, in some cases, they see a coin worth serious money. Before you spend another old penny, make sure you watch this entire video because the 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark has become one of the most talked about Lincoln wheat cents ever produced, and some examples have sold for astonishing amounts. The 1955 wheat penny was struck during the final decade of the famous Lincoln wheat cent series. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent on the back. These wheat pennies were produced from 1909 through 1958 and remain among the most collected coins in the United States. The 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place mint marks on cents during that era. That means if you find a 1955 wheat penny with no mint mark under the date, you have a Philadelphia issue. Now, you might be wondering why collectors care so much about the 1955 wheat penny. The answer lies in a combination of history, demand, condition, and one of the most famous error varieties ever created. Even standard 1955 wheat pennies without a mint mark attract strong collector interest because they represent an important year in Lincoln cent history. Millions were produced, but decades of circulation have reduced the number of attractive surviving examples. One thing that makes the 1955 wheat penny valuable is its age and historical significance. Think about it. This coin was minted during the 1950s, a period of tremendous growth and change in the United States. Every surviving coin has traveled through generations of hands, cash registers, pockets, and collections. Many examples became worn from circulation, making well-preserved coins increasingly difficult to find today. Collectors especially love searching for original red examples. When a copper coin is first struck, it displays a bright reddish color. Over time, exposure to air causes the coin to darken. Coins are often categorized as red, red-brown, or brown. A 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark that retains its original red color can command a significantly higher value than a darker example. This is one reason why two coins from the same year may have dramatically different market values. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A heavily worn 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark may be worth only a modest premium over face value, but as preservation improves, prices can rise rapidly. Collectors carefully examine details such as Lincoln's hair, cheek jawline, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Sharp details, strong luster, and minimal wear can make a tremendous difference. Another factor that drives collector demand is the search for errors and varieties. Coin enthusiasts spend countless hours examining 1955 wheat pennies because certain varieties from this year are among the most famous in numismatic history. Even though not every 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark is a rare variety, collectors continue searching rolls, collections, and estate finds hoping to discover something extraordinary. Many people inherit jars of old coins from parents or grandparents and never realize what might be hidden inside. The 1955 wheat penny is exactly the type of coin collectors recommend checking carefully. Sometimes valuable coins remain unnoticed for decades because they blend in with ordinary pocket change. That possibility keeps the excitement alive for coin hunters around the world. If you own a 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark, it is important to inspect it carefully. Look for strong details, original surfaces, appealing color, and any unusual characteristics that may separate it from common examples. Small differences can sometimes create large differences in value. This is why experienced collectors spend so much time studying even the smallest details on old Lincoln wheat cents. The popularity of Lincoln wheat pennies has continued growing for decades. New collectors enter the hobby every year, and many choose wheat cents as their starting point. The 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark remains one of the most recognized dates in the series, making it a favorite among both beginners and advanced collectors. Strong demand helps support values and keeps interest in these coins remarkably high. What makes this even more exciting is that examples continue turning up in unexpected places. Coin collectors have reported finding old wheat pennies in inherited collections, bank rolls, antique stores, flea markets, and forgotten containers stored away for years. Every discovery reminds people that valuable coins can still be hiding in plain sight. And now, for the number that gets collectors talking. The highest recorded auction price for a 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark reached an astonishing $210,000 for an exceptional example. That incredible result demonstrates just how valuable a rare high-grade specimen can become when condition, rarity, and collector demand come together. While most examples will not sell for that amount, stories like this explain why collectors carefully inspect every 1955 wheat penny they encounter. So, before you ignore another old penny, take a closer look. The 1955 wheat penny without a mint mark is more than just a 1-cent coin. It is a piece of American history, a favorite among collectors, and a reminder that valuable treasures can sometimes be hiding in the most ordinary places. If you have one of these coins, examine it carefully because you never know when a small copper cent could turn into one of the most exciting discoveries of your coin collecting journey. Coin number 4. Imagine finding a single penny so valuable that collectors would fight over it at auction for more money than the price of a luxury car, yet millions of people may still have this exact coin hidden away without realizing it. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly what makes the 1951 wheat penny with the D-mint mark one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable Lincoln cents in American coin collecting history. Most people see old pennies as nothing more than spare change. They throw them into jars, drawers, boxes, or leave them forgotten for decades. But coin collectors know something the average person doesn't. Certain wheat pennies can be worth far more than 1 cent, and the 1951 D-wheat penny is one of the coins that continues to attract serious attention. If you've ever searched through old coin collections, inherited jars of pennies, or rolls from the bank, then this video could completely change the way you look at your coins forever. The 1951 wheat penny with the D Mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint, which is why you'll see the small letter D directly below the date on the front of the coin. At first glance, it may look ordinary. Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears on the front, while the classic wheat stalk design appears on the reverse. But behind that simple design is a coin that collectors aggressively search for in top condition. During the early 1950s, the United States Mint was producing massive numbers of pennies for circulation across America. These coins passed through millions of hands in grocery stores, gas stations, restaurants, vending machines, and everyday purchases. Because of this heavy circulation, most surviving examples today show wear scratches, discoloration, and damage. And that's exactly why high-quality examples are so valuable. Collectors are always searching for coins with sharp details, original surfaces, and strong mint luster. The fewer marks and imperfections a coin has, the more desirable it becomes. Even tiny differences in preservation can dramatically increase value. One of the first things experts inspect is the coin's color. 1951 D-wheat pennies are generally categorized as brown, red-brown, or red by professional grading services. Brown examples are the most common because copper naturally darkens with age and exposure. Red-brown coins still display some original mint color mixed with darker tones. But fully red examples are the true stars of the market because they maintain that bright copper appearance from the day they were minted. And this is where prices can rise extremely fast. A regular circulated 1951 D penny may only be worth a small amount, but pristine red examples in elite mint state grades can become incredibly valuable. Collectors compete aggressively for coins with clean surfaces, blazing color, and nearly flawless preservation. Now here's something many people don't realize. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A penny that looks almost identical to another can be worth hundreds, or even thousands more simply because it has fewer scratches or better original shine. That's why grading companies like PCGS and NGC are so important. These organizations carefully authenticate and grade coins using professional standards trusted throughout the collecting world. And if your coin receives an exceptionally high grade, its value can skyrocket. But valuable condition isn't the only thing collectors search for. Mint errors on the 1951 D-wheat penny can also create major value. Error coins are coins that were accidentally produced with mistakes during the minting process, and collectors absolutely love these unusual pieces because they are often much rarer than standard coins. Some collectors search for doubled dies, where letters or numbers appear doubled because of a misalignment during production. Others look for off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or repunch mint marks. These unusual characteristics can transform an ordinary-looking penny into a highly collectible treasure. One especially important detail to inspect is the clarity of the wheat stalks on the reverse side. Strong wheat lines usually indicate a better strike, which collectors prefer. Lincoln's hair details, cheek, jawline, and coat are also carefully examined under magnification. Another major reason the 1951 D-wheat penny remains popular is because wheat cents themselves are among the most beloved coin series in American history. Produced from 1909 to 1958, these coins connect collectors directly to generations of American life, history, and culture. Every wheat penny tells a story. The 1951 D penny circulated during a fascinating time in post-war America when the country was rapidly growing economically and culturally. Holding one today is like holding a tiny surviving artifact from the early 1950s. And believe it or not, people still discover valuable wheat pennies today. Collectors regularly search bankrolls, estate collections, flea markets, garage sales, and inherited coin boxes, hoping to uncover hidden rarities. Sometimes valuable coins sit unnoticed for decades, simply because nobody thought to examine them closely. That's why experts always recommend checking every old wheat penny carefully before spending or ignoring it. If you own a 1951 D-wheat penny, here are some important things to examine. Check for bright, original red color. Inspect the surfaces for scratches or cleaning. Look closely for doubled lettering or unusual errors. examine the wheat stalk details on the reverse. And always pay attention to overall condition and eye appeal, because even one tiny detail could completely change the coin's value. And now comes the unbelievable part that shocks most collectors and beginners alike. One extraordinary 1951 wheat penny with the D Mint mark reached a jaw-dropping auction price of $230,000, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever sold. That incredible sale proved how powerful rarity, elite condition, collector demand, and historical significance can become when combined into one small copper coin. So, the next time you come across an old wheat penny, don't assume it's worthless spare change. Hidden inside an ordinary-looking 1951 D penny could be a valuable piece of American history that collectors would pay enormous amounts of money to own. And somewhere out there right now, another rare example may still be waiting to be discovered in an old jar, forgotten collection, or pocket full of coins. Before you leave, remember this. The next valuable wheat penny could be hiding in a coin jar, an old wallet, a forgotten collection, or even in your pocket change right now. The coins we covered today prove that ordinary-looking pennies can sometimes become extraordinary treasures worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why every wheat penny deserves a second look before you spend it. And the treasure hunt doesn't stop here. If you enjoyed discovering these incredible wheat pennies, you definitely don't want to miss my next video about rare Jefferson nickels worth serious money. Some of those nickels have shocked collectors with unbelievable values, and you might already own one without realizing it. Click on that video now and continue your treasure hunting journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, give this video a like, share it with your friends and family, and leave a comment below telling me which wheat penny surprised you the most, or whether you've ever found an interesting coin in your own collection. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next exciting rare coin adventure.